Hi, this is Kaden again from VIA Value Investing Academy. Now let's do a very quick recap of what we have covered the other time. We talk about investing in this thing called ETF or exchange traded funds. And then I've introduced to you what is really an index. And I talk about bullish run, where the index goes up, bearish run, where the index goes down. But you can't invest in index. And I spoke about something called index fund, which mirrors after index. If the index goes up, the share price of this index fund goes up. If the index goes down, the share price of this index fund goes down. And another name of index fund, sometimes people call it ETF or exchange traded fund. And I talk about ETFs such as STR ETF. And I spoke about S&P 500, which stands for Standards & Poor. There can be Nikkei 225 from Japan, there can be Hang Seng from Hong Kong. So now the question is, why am I so confident that, if you consider, by the way, I cannot recommend, if you consider investing ETF, it's really a good deal. So this is the definition of ETF over here. If you are really a very techy academic person, you can always take a screenshot of this. This is the definition of an ETF. But let me introduce to you this S&P 500 index or index fund. Now this is the share price of the S&P 500 index. So you can see across the years since 1955, do you realize that there's only one direction? In other words, if I put a dot over here and I put a dot over there and then I draw a line, give a guess. How do you think the line will look like? The line is going to have only one direction, which is going up. But in between, share prices, like any other stocks, is going to move up and down. So these are the movement of share price which goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So in a short run, share prices move up and down. So why am I so confident about an index fund? By the way, just to let you know that not all index or index fund are created equal. Now some index really are crap and you're not supposed to invest. So I'm going to show you one right now, which to me I find it is really worthwhile having a look at this. Now this is the index of the S&P 500. As the name implies, it consists of 500 companies in one number, which is the average number called the index. So if you look at the share prices since 1955 over here all the way to 2010, do you realize that there's only one direction? And the direction is what? Up. So in the long run, an S&P 500 index since the past 1955, since that day, share price goes up. But in between is you're able to see small, jagged, sharp edges over here. And in a short run, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and across the years. So in other words, it's very difficult for you to invest in any stocks in a short run because share price move up and down and it's totally unpredictable. But in a long run, if it's really a good fund, a good index, there's only one direction, and the direction is up. So based on a report that I read, which is specifically a Berkshire annual report, the performance of Berkshire is always compared against S&P 500 index. And since 1965, in the Berkshire's letter to the shareholder, since 1965, the S&P 500 has given an annualized return of about 9.6% per year since 1965. So I want you to imagine that if way back in 1965, you are able to just invest in an index or specifically index fund, then every single year you'll be able to generate 9.6%, which is a lot. Ask yourself, are you able to generate 9.6% now? Or are you aware of any mechanism right now is able to help you to generate 9.6%? I'm quite sure most of them don't. So this is every single year, 9.6%, every single 9.6%, all the way until now. But of course, ignoring all the short term, in the long term, you're going to make good money. Let me show you another one, which is a Straits Times Index. Now you can see over here, short term, up and then down, up and then down. But in the long run, if you're able to plot a point over here and over there, you realize that there's only one direction. And bearing in mind that not all index are created equal. Let me give you another one. Now recently I traveled to Japan very frequently, and can you see this? Do you realize that there's not much trend? Yes, from here, 1963 to here, yeah, it peaked, and subsequently, it goes flat, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. So I want you to imagine that if you start investing in this area over here, there's no way you're going to make money. maybe from the dividend, and that's about it. And there's no capital appreciation. So you can see here, if you invest here, which is maybe 1990 or 1991, all the way until here is almost like maybe 15 years, you're not going to get any money out of capital appreciation. So as of today, of all the index fund that I know, there are two is worthwhile looking. In terms of priority, I want you to look at S&P 500. And the second one I want to look at is this thing called STI. Out of these two, I think I still prefer S&P 500. So right now, if you know that, hey, Kaden, yes, I'm interested in S&P 500 index fund or S&P 500, how do I invest then? Now, the method to invest in this is very simple. We just use a method called dollar cost averaging. Now, just to let you know that this dollar cost averaging, or DCA for short, can only apply for index fund. You cannot apply on individual stocks. For example, Apple, IBM, no. You can only apply on index fund. Now, provided index fund is good. So in this case, we're using a reference S&P 500 index fund. Now, one of the index fund that I really like for S&P 500 is a ticker symbol or short form called VOO. You can always Google. VOO, you put S&P 500. Now, it's an index fund that's managed by a very large fund house called Vanguard. It's one of the largest in the world. Even Warren Buffett recommends. So how do you invest in VOO or S&P 500 index fund? Very easy. The method is called dollar cost averaging. And there are only two things you need to know. That's about it. The first thing, invest a fixed amount. So what do I mean fixed amount? For example, if every single month you are able to squeeze out, let's say $300 or $100 or $200. Yeah. So every month you invest in this amount. So 300 and then next one 300, the next one 300, or it can be 100, 100, 100. Now for the STI, if you are able to invest in the STI ETF managed by POSB, they call it a regular savings plan, it's not going to be 300. It's just going to be 100. So as little as 100, in fact, you can start investing. Yep. And the next one is you must invest in a regular interval. Yeah. So what do you mean by regular interval? For example, let's say you set it, I can only every 3 months I have savings. So what you need to do is every 3 months, you put in 100. Every 3 months, you put in 100. Every 3 months, you put in 100. But some people, they may have a lot of money. They say, I want 2 months. I want 1 month. So it's 2 months, every 2 months, 100. Every 2 months, 100. Every 2 months, 100. So in other words, when this S&P 500 or STI go up, you put in 200. When it goes down, you put in 200. So regardless of rain or shine, up or down, every single regular period, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whichever, you just put in the same exact amount of money for the rest of your life. If you are able to do this, regardless of whether the share price go up and down in a short term, in the long term, remember, there's only one direction, which is up. And if the past equals to the future, today when you start investing in S&P 500 ETF, you'll be able to generate about 9% per year regularly. And then you just blindly buy. And the rest of life, in fact, you do nothing. So if let's say you want to find out an easy and idiot-proof way how to buy an index fund, very easy. What you need to do is you just need to Google POSB STI ETF. Just Google this. If I remember correctly, the very first link, click on it. Now you'll be able to invest in STI. They'll give you some specific instruction how to do it. By the way, by just sharing with this, in fact, I don't get a cut or commission out of this. I'm just sharing with you this information out of goodwill. So in the next video, I'm going to share with you something even more exciting. But before that, I'm Kaden Chang from VIA Value Investing Academy. So stay tuned for my next final video. See you. Goodbye.